Well, hey, y'all. Welcome to Sharpen, where no matter the conversation, we always end up whittling life down to what matters most. And we already goofing off. And we hope that as you hang out with us, you will be inspired to do the same. My name is Nicole Payne. To my right is Danielle Perry. To my immediate left is Lynn Rue. And then to her left is Natara Blount. And as we always do, we just hang to kick it, but authentically talk about some real life things in an authentic way. So today, our topic is generosity and sacrifice. Last question is, what experiences have been pivotal in teaching you about generosity and sacrifice? God has had to break me down to kind of like ground zero. My throat, right?
No, that's real broke. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, the ground zero and the to kind of like bring things to the surface, to unteach me the way that I was going, so that now he can lay proper foundation in the way that I should go.
Okay.
That's what I mean by ground zero.
Okay.
And it's had to do with my emotional, my mental and emotional health. So it's like he's had to rehab me in my thinking, right? And it's taught me my dependency on him. And in him teaching me or showing me my dependency on him, it has showed me just how lost or incapable I am without him. So if he can show me that about myself, then that's what I see about everybody else, which makes me see other people as I should, loving my neighbor as myself. So that when I see other people in their humanity and in their need, I don't it's harder for me to turn a blind eye.
Okay.
Which then conditions me well here to be available. Even if it's a sacrifice.
Okay.
Did that make sense?
Yeah.
You made me think of my experience just with when I had the opportunity to be generous and a person annoyed me, or why I gotta keep being generous with them. And the lesson at times that God teaches me with that, when it's that kind of a situation, is remember when you needed my help? And I'm like, oh yeah. I remember that God. I think that sometimes he'll allow a situation like that to occur where someone may constantly need your help for a season to remind you of where you used to be. And so that helps me when I'm in a situation with someone where I'm like, I don't want to keep doing this, God. Like, I feel like by now they should have already known how to do this, or how to, whatever it is. They should know now. They should know by now. And God humbles me, and he's like, but remember yourself. And I'm like, yep, you right. So I just thought about that when you were speaking. God for a season may require us to be generous to somebody over and over again, and it's because he's just reminding us that just when someone else was there for you in your season, now you're that person for them. So yeah,
I've learned. Like the word tells us that one planteth, another water, and God gives the increase. And I remember saying it one time. I was able to teach at church, And I looked out at the congregation and I was like, I need y'all to stop calling me super mom. Like I ain't got to be everything to everybody all the time. And to look at our ability to be generous, but to look at it through the lens of wisdom too, and balance. Like I just made things my responsibility that weren't my responsibility. And then you find yourself, we use this phrase a lot, but you find yourself burnt out, or you find yourself always bothered, always stressed, always tired, always, but you got on this mask like, oh, it's all good, come on, let's go, but the whole time I'm doing this, I know I really need to be doing this, that, and the other, because I'll be up till 2 a.m. doing lesson plans, or I still got to get home and do baths with the babies, and I still got this and that, and I'm out here doing stuff I really didn't really need to do. But you don't, we have to remember not to take on more than what God has put us here to do. I always tell my students, this reminds me of when we do essays, there is a structure, but when you give me a paper and you filled up the whole paper and I read it and you ain't even answer the question, you just wasted your time, because we got to do this over. This is nothing. Sorry. And I always tell my kids, like, just because you write a lot don't mean it's a good essay, bruh. What are you talking about right here? Where are your periods? Start there. But like, just because you running around and you did all that, and then you ran into that, you blah 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 blah, doesn't mean you're in the right space. It doesn't. Right. It doesn't. And I was in a time where I didn't grow up in the church, and I started going to church maybe around I was 19, and I felt like, oh, I know how to do that. I'll do that. I know how to do that. I can help with that. And I was just doing like everything. I didn't necessarily have to be up in there, but I felt like the more I did, the better I was. And some of that was wasted time, wasted resources, just wasted, because it was like that paper, and it doesn't always mean that everything I did was with the right heart. That it doesn't mean it was well done either. And it doesn't mean I had the right intentions, like I talked about before. But you just don't have to be superwoman. Right. Even mom. Sometimes there's one of my kids will take, and this child doesn't think, they just don't think about it. I got to set the boundary. Can I have some? Nope. Because there's some in the kitchen. Go make your own. Like, what are you doing? Like, this child will literally take food as I'm about to bite it. And will if I say, oh, you want it? They'll take it. And then say, can I have the rest? Like, that's the level.
Yeah.
And, I had to learn, like, I can't do everything all the time, even for the children. And that's okay. Doesn't make me a bad mom. Doesn't make me a selfish mom. I feel like I did something by myself recently. I did. I forgot what it was.
Your Oreo McFlurry?
Yes. And it's funny, Danny, because it's funny how my children are. And you know which kid was there. I got caught, quote unquote. And like, I ain't got to sneak.
Right.
I ain't got the sneak. Right, typically, if I go get myself a treat, I'm gonna buy a good amount so that I got something for everybody. And I do it when I'm out with my husband. Like, should we bring some? And my husband's like, no, we ain't gotta bring that home for them. Why?
Right.
But yeah, I got caught with that, and I got questioned. It was just so funny. Like, where'd you go? Like, when did you do that? Like, I don't need to tell you. It's a McFlurry, first of all. But yeah, like you, it's okay, talk about. I'm just learning, to have a balance and to calm down. Just
Calm down.
stop worrying so much
Yeah, that's
about when my kids are grown and they sit around the table. What are they gonna say about me? I worry, like, are they gonna be like, yeah, because mom used to. I think about that, like, are my kids gonna trash me later? But regardless, if I bought 2 McFlurries or not, if you gonna say something about me later, you gonna say something about me later. And I'm learning that if I worry about it with my children, and the relation, your children, they see you as like this golden, just this unblemished thing, and they still
with everlasting strength.
And they still gonna talk about you low key for real, though. Especially when they get grown.
Absolutely.
And I
you
just
know that, eh?
yeah.
What?
And if I worry about it with my children, can you imagine the depth of what I worry about with friends and with coworkers? And I just need to not to the point like I don't care, because that was my fault. I don't care.
Oh, right. You
But
talked about that
yeah,
last time.
but I didn't always mean it. I hardly ever meant it when I say it, even still. But to the point where that's all right. I did what I could. I did what I had to do. I did what was for me to do. You might have wanted more from me, but I didn't have more, or that's just not what I got. So putting, I just keep having to be reminded to, in being generous and in sacrificing, to make sure that I remember that this is the temple of God too.
That's right.
And I got to take care of this too.
That's right. I fall in that category as well. I think
What category?
with Natira, for me, it's doing the boundaries, not having my mind everywhere, not attempting to control the all situations at all times. Like, no, it's gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That sounds familiar to me.
You on 3 goes to 4, not
Yeah.
3 goes to 5.
That's right.
Why?
Yeah.
Right.
You
Yeah.
over there.
Very true.
So, like, okay, look, God, you got it. I can't, because we're not God. We don't have that capacity. That's the thing. Like, we don't have the capacity to be God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit at the same time. We just don't. And I think for me, for a long time, I was just in knots. This is going this way. This is going that way. And like Natira, what am I? I don't want my kids saying. I don't want them like saying mom was she was just trash. She was trash. I said at the end of the day, I just need y'all to know I love you, and they would. We know that,
Right?
Like, we know that. So yeah, every day you wake up, you get to breathe. You still have a purpose to meet. And you got to set these boundaries in your generosity, and in your generosity, and you got to get your heart in the right posture when it's a sacrifice, because you have a purpose. And if you're all over the place, if you're just doing things because you want people to notice you, well, after a period of time, people are going to, and you start to set those boundaries, then they're going to turn on you. It never fails. Or the season is up and you setting the boundaries. You can't do what I want you to do. So I'm moving on. Yep. And then you left high and dry. Like, what? After I done did X, Y, Z, I was there for this and I was there for that, and you didn't have. And then it was like, well, but were you generous? Right. Right. PK said this to me when I was having a concern with a family member, and she said, sometimes you just have to let grown folks be grown folks. And
And I was like, because I really, in all honesty, I couldn't believe that this family member was coming at me the way they were coming at me, the way I've been there for you your entire life. Like, are you for real? Mm-hmm. But at a period of time, yeah, you just got to let grown folks be grown folks, and you got to put your hands, you got to be like, all right. Yeah. And let you go, so, and kids, like I said, kids are going to, they're going to make those little sly comments. I tell Christian and I tell Sydney, I can't wait to see how you manage yourself. Because, yes, I do hope you have children just like you. I do.
Like you.
Exactly like you. Christian, I want to see how you manage you when you're 30. When you 30 and you got a 15-year-old who acts just like you. I want to see how you do that. Mm-hmm. Or, Mom, you always come in here with such and such. I want to see how you budget for 5 people. Mm-hmm. And 7 on the weekend. Mm-hmm. Let me see how you do it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When you get your money. So, this is a temple. And we host God. How are you hosting him? Mm-hmm. Has to be your daily question.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Nat. We said,
we did. But
that's why I'm putting notes in my phone so I don't forget what I want to say.
Look.
What you trying to say?
Her look back. She's so cute. It reminds me when I called you the other day, and you said, and I keep hearing it. You said, Natara, you just got to pray and ask God to work on your heart. Mm-hmm. You just got to pray and ask God to work on your heart. And it goes both ways, work on my heart so I'm not doing too much with the wrong ambition, but then that I'm not pulling back so much, trying to protect myself, and now I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. So it's just really, really just great, sound, sage advice.
Thank you.
You just ask God to you just got to ask God to just work on your heart. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of here, it is where it starts. Like you were saying, Nick, having that conversation with God, like, before I say yes, no, maybe so, before I suck my teeth or get an attitude, or before I create a whole narrative or a whole scenario of what my day is going to look like if I do this or if not, let me slow down and get my these emotions in order and talk to God about what I'm supposed to. Sometimes it's not that serious.
Right.
Like, I got that. Don't worry about that. I'll bring that.
Yeah.
But other times it is.
It is.
And you got to get that heart right. Mm-hmm. Coming from both directions.
Absolutely.
And so the results are on him. When we do our part, when we, stay connected with him, we hear what he's saying, we live obediently to him. Again, it's not perfection, but that is our regular with him. We are pursuing him, and we are available. We are that. We're the sacrifice. We sacrifice ourselves for what he wants because he created us. So this is his thing, right? We play our part because he made us to do it. Mm-hmm. But when we live like that, the results is on him, and I struggle with the results being on me.
Yes.
And I consistently have to be reminded, no. Hey, God, let me know where I have erred. Let me know if I have misstepped. And if you don't let me know that, and I'm right where you want me to be, the results on you, not on me.
Exactly.
Not on me, but I struggle with that. I have to keep being reminded of that. Yeah. And that's a part of my calm down. When I'm anxious about all of these things, and no, wait, does God say I'm where I'm supposed to be? Oh, okay, well, the results on him. Regardless of how it looks or how it feels, the results are on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking about, I'll start with this. When Natara and Lynn were talking about temples, our bodies are temples, and at some point we have to set those boundaries because we're giving so much of ourselves that we don't have nothing for us, right? And I was talking to my therapist.
I like your watch. That
thank you.
Y'all see my watch?
Can we stay focused?
Thank you.
You getting her off track. She done wrote her
took
notes
notes.
for a reason.
But do you see the pink
We
face?
did.
It's beautiful.
We did.
I
It's
did
beautiful.
notice it, but I ain't say nothing because I didn't want
Right.
to do what you just did.
Exactly.
This is how we do it, though. This is what makes sharpen.
She done wrote the
Anyway.
notes. Come on.
Right, which they're there for her to go back to after we didn't.
Y'all done?
I like your watch.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was talking to my therapist the other day, and I was just telling her, I was like, and this is just a transparent moment. I was like, my mind has been so many places that lately I've been forgetting things, and I'm too young to have a bad memory. And I was like, I know that when that happens, then my mind is so many places, and I need to reel it back. And something she said, when's the last time you actually sat down and ate your favorite meal and actually enjoyed it? Like you sat down, like you're eating your favorite meal and you're not thinking about anything else but that meal. Or if you're a coffee drinker, which I'm not, but she said, or if you're a coffee drinker, whatever you enjoy, when's the last time you actually savored the moment and you didn't think about anything else?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Myself.
Right. Well, that's what me and that was like.
I was like,
The last time I did.
that's a good question because I
Right.
don't know. Because a lot of times, and I think as women, when we, that weekend to remember thing we went to, the compartmentalization that men have
Yes.
that we don't have
Yes.
because we got that purse and everything is in that
Just
purse,
in there.
right? I said, that's something that I need to work on. And I was like, I really enjoy crabs. So I'm going to get some crabs soon.
You got excited a little bit when
I
you talking
did.
about it.
I did. And my husband doesn't, Jared doesn't eat them. So I'm going to be able to really just enjoy them and have them to myself. And I'm going to really try my best not to think about anything else.
You gonna eat them outside on newspaper?
No, I'm going to eat them
Ain't that how they
inside.
do
On
it?
newspaper.
I don't do
Inside
crabs.
or
I
outside?
have some at the house if you like to come
Oh,
get
okay.
some.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I'm a social crab.
What from Winland? This is last week's crabs, girl. Don't eat them.
Ayo.
They were from last night.
Oh,
know
we
crabs
talking
don't
about
last
crabs.
long.
Crabs.
Wait,
I
you
thought
said
you
you
talking
was
about
gonna-
newspaper. You
No,
talking
I
about
had
crabs?
But Danny, she
These
What?
crabs were
Danny,
delicious.
what?
Dang.
Come on.
Danny, what?
What Nikki saying about you?
Wait,
I
first of
know.
all, I blanked out a little bit. What were you saying?
Uh-uh.
See?
No. Point number 2, Danny.
Exactly. Keep going. 'cause
Keep going because you wrote it down.
My mind's straight.
See? That's what we talk about.
Exactly. I'm in the
I
boat.
had blanked out.
I'm in the boat.
But yeah, so I just thought that was so key, when she said that, because that would just be so helpful for I know many of us. That would be so helpful
Definitely.
to do. Lynn, when you were just talking about how, you were doing something for a family member and it was like they didn't even see all that you've been doing for them. I think sometimes the people that we help the most are the ones that are least appreciative. I think because they've become so accustomed
That's right.
to us helping
Yes.
and to us just having open arms, whatever you need, I got you.
Right.
That now they don't realize. I'm hoping maybe they've just not realized that they've taken you for granted, or they've taken advantage of your generosity. I can even say for myself, I've had moments where I'm like, you just kind of get used to a person doing something
Yeah.
that you forget to even ask, oh, you need help with that?
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Come on.
it's like
Right,
they
yeah,
got it,
right.
right?
Right.
Oh, they always got it, but that's the person, more than likely, that's the person that is just waiting for someone to ask, do you need help? And I think a lot of people who have generous hearts, although their motive isn't, they better ask if I need help. That's not their motive. It's just that every now and then
That's right.
they just want you to ask,
Right.
hey, you need help with that?
Right.
So I thought about that when you were talking. And then the last thing that I wanted to say is I was reading John, or I'm in John now as just a book that I'm studying. And there's a chapter where, Jesus knows that Judas is about to betray him. He say, whatever you about to do, go ahead and do it quickly. And Jesus knew that he was about to die on the cross. He knew that there were about to be some terrible things that his flesh was about to endure. Yet it says that he washed the disciples' feet that night of the Passover. He took the time to wash their dirty, stanky feet,
Even Judas,
knowing what was about to take place.
Yeah.
And that just stuck out to me because I'm like, it just made me think about maybe a situation that I may be in, or I know I'm about to go into, yet I'm gonna still be generous for you right now because this is what I'm supposed to do.
exactly.
And we know that Jesus was the ultimate servant, and we're supposed to model after him. We're supposed to follow his example. So when I just looked at how he served them, and he knew Peter, the same chapter he said, Peter, you're gonna deny me 3 times. That same chapter, but I'm gonna still wash your feet. Excuse me. I don't know who I was listening to. It might have been Quasey. I don't know if he was preaching a sermon one day or if it was someone else. But where were all the disciples when Jesus needed them the most?
I feel like Quasey was saying
It was. I think it was Quasey.
they did.
Yeah, they did.
What?
They ran, but he washed their feet, and he knew what would happen. So that just really served as a great, just, I guess, admonishment for me that whenever I'm stuck in myself, stuck in my feelings about something, I'm just reminded Jesus was just the greatest servant that there ever was. And he always says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments, but you'll also serve. So, yeah. And their feet were dirty back then.
Exactly, because
They had
were
some
walking
crusty feet.
everywhere,
They were dirty back then.
and not on no paved road. What?
And he ain't have no gloves. And,
No.
Spa bombs.
And it probably wasn't even running water, for real though. Correct?
Where he at?
It
No.
was a bowl.
Yeah.
A bowl joint.
With just a little
From the
bit,
well.
probably. And he just kind of pour it over
Sprinkle.
I'm amazed at. I really do. That level of an extension of olive branch like that. I really am. I when I think about that, I think about my mom, and I tell her often that I admire her for the level of that level of servitude. I'm amazed when people do that, because I think about my mother and my father in his last days when he was, the last 2 years of his life where he had to live in a nursing home because he couldn't live on his own any longer, and how my mother would go visit him. She would be that one to visit him, if like on a weekly basis. She went to see him, would bring him Dunkin' Donuts because that was his favorite place. So she would bring like muffins, she would cook food, she would bring to him. And I often tell her that I admire her because of that, because I know how my father treated my mother, not just when they were married, but after they were married, after they were divorced, the things that he did. And how she still went to visit him when none of his kids would do that. None of us did that. No, we didn't. I would call the nursing home to see how he was doing. I think I went to see him maybe 3 times, maybe 4 at the most in that 2-year time frame. I didn't feel, I wasn't doing it. And the days that I did go was a sacrifice. It was like, all right, God, I'm taking this trek to New Jersey. Let me get my heart right. I remember a time where PK was having a birthday party, and I felt led to go, and I just wanted to make sure I shared salvation with him. I knew that things weren't that great, but I just wanted to go see him. I drove like 3 hours. I think I sat with him 45 minutes. got back on that road, came back down here because I was like, I'm going to my girlfriend's birthday party. I'm going to her dinner. That was a sacrifice.
Yeah.
That I didn't want to do it. But my mom went to see him often and spent time with him. My mother spent her 60th birthday with my father in the nursing home. She took my sister to visit him. And I just talked to her about that level of sacrifice that she did for, you know, knowing how he was as a person. You know, I was just like, wow. And I am amazed at that. And I do, you know, I ask God to help me with that's why I say, God, okay, help me with my heart. I was not there at all. And don't feel bad about it. Not at all. Don't even feel bad about it. But my mom, and like you said, you know, I know, all right, Jesus, I know what you're going to do. Just go ahead, do it real quick, though. Yeah. Peter, you're going to deny me 3 times. You are. I'm still going to wash your feet. No spa, no soap. I'm putting my hand to your foot.
That's right. That's right.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even want Dante's feet touching me. I'm just like, no.
Don't put Dante out there.
I'm just saying I don't. I love him though. Okay. So, but, you know, that level of sacrifice, that's a lot. And we have to understand that not only was that level of sacrifice for the disciples at the table, but it was for us too.
It was for us. Yes.
Like, it was for us, our stankness, our filthiness. It was for us. So,
yeah.
And if he could do that for us, get yourself together and go ahead and be generous.
Because I was just telling you about my mind, how it was everywhere, or how it's been everywhere. I'm trying to calm down. Jesus' mind wasn't everywhere, knowing he about to die on the cross, but he gonna say, I'm gonna wash your feet.
Right.
And that's, again, just the whole thing of, when I know I got something that's about to happen, I gotta do this hard thing, but yet I'm gonna be generous before I go do it. I'm not thinking about being generous.
Right.
I'm thinking about that thing. So that also, I guess, is an example of Jesus' focus. In that moment, he knew that he needed to be a servant.
Right.
He knew this was coming, but in that moment, he knew that he needed to wash the disciples' feet.
Right.
So we be so distracted sometimes.
We do.
So.
I also want to admonish us, so as we look at Jesus, to remember things like the passage of Matthew 4, where he was led by the Spirit to the wilderness. So he was following his Father. He was following the Spirit to very uncharted territory, a very barren place that was not luxurious, that was not happy times, that was testing and trying. And he encountered the devil, and the devil did his best to tempt him with the things that the devil could give him. But Jesus quoted the word back. But even at the end of that, it says that after he stood firm and recalled the word to the devil, it said that when the devil left him, angels came and ministered to him. Jesus needed assistance here on the earth. So he stayed in his role, even though he told the Father, is it any other way? Because I don't want to do this. I admonish us and those watching to even look at Jesus's process. He stayed focused. He did what he was supposed to do. He washed the dirty feet. He got up on the cross and died. He carried the cross, this distance and was beaten and spat upon and criticized and persecuted and condescended and all of these things. Even Jesus, when he was here on earth, he had to go through process. He had to go through, I don't want to do this, but help me. He had to go through, you about to betray me, but I still got to wash your dirty, funky feet. Like, And the angels came and assisted him. Jesus. So I don't want us to, and I'm talking to myself, to get down on ourselves when we need help.
Right.
Jesus needed help.
Right.
He's the ultimate example, and he needed help. So, well, we hope that y'all enjoyed today's episode on generosity and sacrifice. And if you like kicking it with us and all of these things, subscribe to the channel. And the podcast is also found on other platforms, so you can look in the show notes and get the direct links to those platforms where you can find the podcast there as well, or you can keep watching it here on YouTube. We hope that you enjoyed hanging with us here at Sharpen, where when we get together, we always find ourselves whittling life down to what matters most. And we hope that as you hang out with us, that you will always be inspired to do the same. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.